Hi everyone. So we have a simple question on board today, and it says, what exactly is an EC2 instance? And during this video, I'm going to explain what an EC2 instance is, what a virtual machine is, and how they relate. And also, we are going to learn how to create an EC2 instance on Amazon Management Console. So let's jump right into it. And before we start, let's ask ourselves this simple question: what is a virtual machine? Because that forms the basis of Amazon EC2. And a virtual machine is a software version of a computer, and this might sound a little bit complex or confusing for people who are new to the cloud and new to virtual machine technologies. But calm down. The easiest way to understand this is picture your system. Currently, I'm running on the Windows machine, and I need an application that can only run on Linux, and I can't just walk into the computer store to go and buy a Linux machine, which is going to be like throwing away money. So, with the help of the virtual machine technology or creating a virtual machine, you can run an instance of Linux on Windows. So, it's a software based computer that runs on another host computer. In this case, my system, my laptop is going to be the host computer, and the virtual machine shares its resources. It shares the resources of the host like CPU, memory, and storage. It shares the whole resources. So let's take a look at this so let's compare this to this image. You can see a truck holding a bus, and this is the host machine in our case, and this is the virtual machine. So the host machine encapsulates the virtual machine. And now let's explain this in a better way by using a diagram. So this is like an architectural diagram of the host machine and the virtual machine. And we already know that our host machine has resources like the CPU, the RAM, the network, the storage, etc. And here's our virtual machine, which can be a Windows machine, a Mac operating system, or a Linux based system. And the whole virtual machine technology would not exist or cannot exist without the help of a software called a hypervisor, because this is the guy that gives the host the ability to create virtual machines. So it basically communicates with the host and allocates resources to the virtual machine because it's still a computer. It needs CPU, it needs memory, it needs storage, it needs network to perform accurately. So now back to our question: what is an EC2 instance? What is an EC2 instance? So I'll be straight to the point here. An EC2 instance is a virtual machine that is running on AWS infrastructure. It's a virtual machine that is running on AWS infrastructure. And when I say infrastructure, I mean AWS servers in their data centers. So, for example, I need a computer and I don't want to go and buy a physical computer. I can basically create a computer in AWS cloud. They manage the hardware for me. I don't need to manage the network configuration, the hardware, or the hassle of buying a new PC. I can just go to the Amazon Management Console and create an EC2 instance based on the operating system I want. And we are going to do that shortly. So, welcome to the next part of this video where I'll be teaching you how to create an EC2 instance. And to create an EC2 instance, you just have to log into the Amazon Management Console. So you say aws.amazon.com and you log into your Amazon account. So for me, I'm already logged in, so I just have to sign into the console. But if you don't have an account, you can easily create one and just in few simple steps. So after logging into your AWS Management Console, you can search for the service you want. For me, I just have to type EC2 and then just click on EC2. It takes you to the EC2 dashboard and you can just scroll down and launch your EC2 instance. So just click launch instance and it takes you to the EC2 launch wizard. So you can type the name of your EC2 instance here just to give it a tag. And the way I look at this to make it simple is just me walking to the computer store and telling them, okay, I want to buy a PC, and then I give them the specification I want. So it's just you walking up to Amazon and giving them the specification of the type of virtual machine you want. So I need a PC, and let me just give it a name. Let's say a Lenovo, and scroll down. And now is where you choose the operating system. So this is the Amazon machine image. In other words, this is just the operating system of the virtual machine you would like to create. So I can just come here and say, I don't want Windows, I don't want Red Hat, I don't want SUSE Linux. Let me just go for Ubuntu. So Ubuntu is a distribution of Linux, similar to Red Hat, SUSE Linux, etc. So I just want Ubuntu, and this is just the type of the machine image. So this is Ubuntu Server 24.04 LTS SSD volume type. So if you go for Windows, you can see Windows Server 2022 base etc. So for me, I just want to go for Ubuntu. Okay, confirm. So also you can choose the architecture. For me, I'm using the 64-bit x86 and I'm okay with this. So it just depends on your use case. And this place is very important, and this is where you configure the hardware, the hardware configuration of your system, the instance type. So this is a T3 micro currently, and it has two virtual CPUs, 1 gig of memory, and you can see the pricing over here. For Linux based pricing is $0.01 per hour, and this is quite fair, and it's free tier eligible. So I'm going with this. If you don't want this, you can scroll and choose the one you want. You can see C5 4X large has 16 virtual CPUs, 32 gig of memory, and you can also see the pricing over here. So normally Windows is more expensive than any other. So I'm going with T3 Micro. And for the key pair login, this is very important because this is the key pair you use to log into your AWS account, your AWS EC2 instance. So it's just like a password, but in this case, it's not like you imputing the one you want. It's a hash generated by Amazon and given to you so you can log into your EC2 instance. So we are going to create a new key pair here. We're going to give it a name. So I'm going to call mine len dev, and the best format I'm going to use, since we are using SSH, is going to be .pem. If you are using SSH clients like PuTTY, etc., you are going to go for .ppk. But since I'm running on WSL or just using my Windows command prompt, I'm going to go for .pem and create new key pair. So it's going to be downloaded into your system. And for the network configuration, this is where you configure your network, and you can see for firewall, your security group, this is where you allow or deny traffic that come in or goes out of your EC2 instance. So for me, I'm going to leave this guy checked because allowing SSH into your system makes you gives you the ability to log into your EC2 instance. And from this anywhere here, when you see anywhere, that means anybody with any IP address can log into your system, which is not safe. But since is a simple app, I'm going to leave this like this anywhere. And the next part is to configure storage. Very, very important. So it's just you still telling the dealer that, okay, I want a system of 1 terabyte, or I want a system of 500 gig SSD. But in this case, Linux does not consume much, so I'm just going for 8 gig. And you can read under here, free tier eligible customers can get up to 30 gig of elastic block store general purpose SSD or magnetic storage. But for now, I'm good with 8 gig. Scroll down and to see advanced details. So this gives you more granularity over your system to configure things like hostname, etc. and user data. So this guy is very important, but for now we are not going to use it because it helps you to automate tasks. And let's just click on launch instance and sit back and see our instance get launched. So after your instance is launched, you're going to see other options like connect to your instance, etc. So for me, I just want to connect to it, but take note that the Ec2 instance won't be active or live for I think 2.5 minutes before it comes up fully. And there are many ways of logging into your Ec2 instance. One is using Ec2 Instance Connect, and this helps you to log in and administer your Ec2 instance from your browser, which is very convenient for me. And there's another guy called Session Manager, is SSH Client, and Ec2 Serial Console. But this guy is pretty popular and it's very easy to use. So you can open SSH Client. For now, we are going to use command prompt, and command prompt is installed on every Windows machine I know. So to use command prompt, you can just type Windows R on your system and then just type CMD. So we are going to use command prompt and then copy and paste the commands we have. Copy and paste this command that's here currently. So just copy this command and come to command prompt and paste this command. And I need to log in. I need to cd into my home directory, my downloads directory, because that's where the key pair is downloaded. So you can just say cd downloads and then you can run this command. So you can type yes to log into your system, and then you can see that this IP address is permanently added to the list of known hosts. So this is something you can do networking, and now you are logged into your Ec2 instance. So you can just create a demo directory, mkdir demo and ls, you can see, and then you can just play around with your Ec2 instance. And don't forget one important thing, which is cleanup. Don't forget one important thing, which is cleanup. So after Ec2 instance is created, you'd actually want to delete it after you are done with what you want. So click on the instance ID here and then go to instance state and terminate your Ec2 instance. Terminate your Ec2 instance. So after terminating your Ec2 instance, you are rest assured that AWS won't charge you for resources that you are not using because it's pay as you go. But if you leave it running, you're going to get billed. So you can see successfully initiated termination of your instance ID. So that's it for this video, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you.